Hey there, my friend. Welcome back to this special training video. My name is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi. I'm the founder here at the Fit Father Project. In today's video, we're going to cover a special topic of unexpected weight gain causes. And this video is for you if you've ever felt like you're just gaining weight and you don't know what the heck is happening with your body. Maybe you're still eating healthy, maybe you're still exercising, but you find yourself gaining weight. Or if you just feel like you've been doing the same stuff, not necessarily super healthy, but the weight keeps on trending up month by month, this video is for you. It's also for you if you've ever experienced, being one weight one day and 3 days later you're much higher in weight. What the heck is that short-term weight gain? We're going to cover all of that in this video. In particular, we're going to cover 7 causes, and by the end of this video, you're going to know the biological basis of why unexpected weight gain happens, and most importantly, some simple strategies across all these 7 factors that you can use to fix it so you can maintain a healthy weight, continue to lose weight and fat, build muscle, feel energetic, and all the things that you know that you want to have and experience with your body. We're the Fit Father Project. We're here to help. So get out your pen and paper, take some notes, and let's dive on in.
FitFatherProject.com.
All right, so to get started in this video, the first thing we need to differentiate before getting into these 7 factors is the difference between short-term weight gain and long-term weight gain. So short-term weight gain is where you're at a certain weight, let's say it's 200 pounds today, and you wake up tomorrow and you're 205 pounds. What the heck happened? Where did those 5 pounds come from? That is short-term weight gain. We're gonna get into the causes of that. But that's different than long-term weight gain, where you're at 200 pounds month 1, 30 days later you're at 205. 30 days after that, you're at 210. That trend of weight gain is actually different in cause than short-term weight gain. So we're going to differentiate these in this video. So the causes typically of short-term weight gain, these are fluctuations of 1, 2, 3, 5 pounds in the span of hours, really, a day, 2 days, typically comes from your body retaining water. Water weight fluctuations are the biggest thing, and you can look no farther than what happens after you have a really big blowout meal. So maybe you have a bunch of pizza with your family, or you go to sushi and you have a bunch of soy sauce, a lot of salty foods. You do something like that and you wake up the next day, if you were to weigh yourself, you're 3 pounds heavier. It's not that you gain 3 pounds of fat. It doesn't happen that quickly. What you likely did is gain 3 pounds of water that's retained from salt fluctuations, because our bodies want to constantly maintain a balance of the amount of water we're drinking in and the amount of water we're excreting, and our kidneys play a huge role in actually maintaining this water balance. But what happens is when we get way too much salt in the short term and not enough water, or maybe way too much water and way too much salt, and essentially our normal balance rhythm gets thrown out of sync, our body can retain water, and it can take us a couple days to shed that. So water weight gain is the #1 cause of really rapid weight fluctuations of multiple pounds over the course of days, and also bowel movements. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, but poop weighs stuff. And if you're blocked up, not getting enough fiber, or you're constipated from traveling, or you just know you haven't been regular from stress or whatever cause, you could have a couple pounds of actual fecal matter in your body that's contributing to weight gain. After a big bowel movement, you can be back to normal weight. So those are short-term causes, and those are different than long-term causes, where we see this consistent trend of weight gain, which is most likely fat. If you weigh yourself, you're 200 pounds month 1, and you're 205 pounds consistently in month 2, and 210 in month 3, you're likely gaining fat. And this is the case if you're not out purposely on a muscle building plan and you're not dialed in and the weight's not quality weight from your training and your eating. It's likely fat gain over the long term, but the short term fluctuations are not necessarily fat. I mean, you could go out and have a big blowout meal of tons of ice cream or whatever, like a cheat meal or cheat day if you will, and that's not going to lead to 3 pounds of weight gain in one day. So just know that. So let's get into the causes. We're going to talk mostly about both short-term and long-term weight gain. The #1 cause is lack of sleep and poor quality sleep. If you want to gain weight quickly in the short term and the long term, screw up your sleep. And this is because sleep is actually the foundation of your entire health plan, and it regulates all your body's main metabolism, appetite, and carb processing hormones. Here's what happens. When you miss a night of sleep, your stress hormone cortisol is through the roof. And we're going to talk about cortisol a little more when we get into cause #3, but cortisol, what it does is it can actually lead to fat gain when it's prolonged, elevated over the course of months. High stress, lack of sleep, but it also stimulates appetite. So you may find after a night of missing sleep that you're just kind of hungry the next day. And to make matters worse, not only does cortisol stimulate your appetite, but when you miss sleep, your body becomes resistant to carbs for 24 hours after, which means when you eat carbs, normally your body would process those properly. At a day after missed sleep, your blood sugar stays elevated for hours, which means your insulin levels stay elevated for a long time, which can lead to weight gain energy swings, more hunger, and it's a vicious cycle. So lack of sleep is both one of the #1 causes of short-term weight gain. You can find your water weight fluctuates due to lack of sleep, and long-term weight gain. So if you're here and you're watching this and you have not gotten your sleep handled, we need to improve that. And look, it's okay. In fact, even last night, I didn't have a great night of sleep. So it happens sometimes. We want to make sure we nip that in the bud so it's not a constant thing where you're always having poor sleep, which is definitely going to lead to both short-term and long-term weight gain. Number 2, salt. We talked about this. Most processed foods have a lot of salt, and there are a lot of foods that you don't even think have a lot of salt that have a lot of salt. Obviously, the main sources of salt are things that are like, we have salted nuts, we have soy sauce, we have pizza or some kind of fried processed food. But if you look at some of these prepackaged microwave kind of dinners, even the healthy ones, they have a ton of salt in there to both preserve them and to enhance the flavor, etc., because they're not as fresh as real whole foods. So there is a lot of salt. And if you find that you normally have, let's just say 2,000 milligrams of salt, which is just a ballpark figure, and you go up to 4,000, 5,000 in one day, and your body's used to processing 2,000, you're gonna see water weight fluctuations. So the solution, believe it or not, when you have short-term weight gain is actually to drink more water. It's to tell your body, hey, it's okay. Look, I know we're retaining water right now. Here's more water. You're totally hydrated, release some of the excess weight. So the worst thing you can do when you find that you had a lot of salt, you blew up, have a lot of water retention, is to restrict water. Because then your body gets even more into a water conservation mode and it says, uh-oh, now we're dehydrated and we're retaining water. We're definitely gonna hold on to that extra water. So upping your water intake can actually really help get your weight back on track. So that's salt, and these fluctuations in salt are the big thing. It's not that salt always causes weight gain. It's the amount of salt that your body's regularly used to processing. In fact, there are benefits, athletic benefits, to having higher salt intakes. A lot of elite athletes salt their foods and have very high salt intakes, but they also have very high water intakes to match the salt intake, and they keep it consistent. There's not these rapid fluctuations. The rapid fluctuations in the amount of salt and the amount of water is what causes the weight gain. Number 3, stress. We talked about how sleep and lack of sleep causes stress, but also just general stress. It raises cortisol, raises your hunger hormones, cortisol that helps contribute to feeling hungry all the time. And what that's going to end up doing is cause you to overeat over the long haul. So in the short term, the cortisol and the stress can lead to water retention, but in the long term, you're going to eat more food and your body's going to store more belly fat because you're in this stressed mode. And ultimately, that's going to lead to that long-term trend of weight gain. So I don't care if we're talking short-term or long-term weight gain, we got to nip stress in the bud. And this really easily segues into snacking. This is a classic thing when people come to doctors and they're like, hey, I can't lose weight, help me lose weight. One of the first things a lot of doctors do is do something called a diet diary, which is like, hey, come back and actually write down every single thing that you put in your mouth over 3 days, and come back and we'll look at it and we'll see what's going on. And what happens so many of the time with people who are gaining weight is they forget how much they're actually snacking. And people statistically underreport the amount of snacks and food that they eat on these diet diaries, and just you totally space that you did have that muffin in between breakfast and lunch, or you did have that soda and you just forgot about it. Look, we got a lot of things going on. It's easy to forget the kind of things we're eating, especially if we're mindlessly eating. So snacking can be a big thing. And this is why here at the Fit Father Project, we have that free one-day meal plan where we recommend you do structured set meals to keep your blood sugar stable and make sure you're not grazing all day. Because what we do know from the people who do graze and eat 6 small meals per day is they tend to eat more calories. Because try to control yourself 6 times per day versus just having a breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner. It's much more manageable. There's a big difference between eating 6 times a day and eating 3 meals in a small snack. So this is why we want to watch the snacking and maybe do an audit right now of what's going on. And look, if you just want to get this handled and actually have a done-for-you meal plan that lays out everything to eat, the perfect schedule that works for your work schedule, that fits in with your busy life, with also the accountability and the workout plan, we have a Fit Father 30-day program that essentially addresses all of these root causes. And again, we have that Fit Father 30X. I'll tell you more about that in a second, but just we gotta watch the snacking. Next thing, number 5, is actually sitting A lot of people don't know is that the amount we sit has a profound impact on our health. And you might have seen some news headlines that sitting is the new smoking. And it's true. Sitting itself has some really big changes to how our body processes our appetite and hunger hormones, as well as our circulation. And we're still learning in the research why this is, but sitting more than, I think, 8 hours per day, which a lot of us do, increases our chance of death, of all-cause mortality by 50%, and definitely contributes to weight gain. And one of the ways it does is that our bodies need to move a certain amount. We have like a minimum activity threshold every day for our bodies to be able to maintain our hunger hormones and keep our appetites in balance. If we sit too much and don't move enough, what happens is we're hungry all the time. Our whole appetite circuit kind of short circuits. So this is why if you feel like you're gaining weight all the time and you know you work a desk job and you're sitting down for 8 hours a day, we got to get you moving. So one of the things we do in our Fit-Follow-30X program is we get guys tracking daily activity. And this is not workouts, it's different. We will do formal workouts, but I'm talking, are you getting 5,000 steps a day? Are you tracking that? Can we get you moving more? Even just getting off your butt and breaking up those periods of prolonged sitting can actually have an effect on weight gain. And what they show is that people who sleep, follow a healthy diet, and walk every day can lose a ton of weight. We have some program members on Fit-Follow-30X who lose over 100 pounds. They don't do the workouts, they just walk, they get off their butts, they sleep well, they hydrate, and they follow the meal plan. So this stuff is powerful, it can work. Next thing is supplements. Some supplements and medications can actually lead to weight gain. So a supplement that we do recommend here at the Fit Follow Project is creatine monohydrate, which is not just a muscle building supplement. The new research shows it's an amazing longevity supplement. It's good for your brain and your memory health and your energy production. It's really good, but creatine can cause water retention inside the muscles, which could be a good thing from an athletic performance standpoint, but purely on the scale, if you weren't taking creatine, then you started taking creatine, you could find that the scale jumps up a few pounds. That is not bad weight gain. That's water that's inside the muscle, but it can lead to weight gain. Other medications that are very common for causing weight gain, irrespective of changing anything else in your diet, your sleep, your exercise, are some of your corticosteroids, like prednisone. So some of these steroids that you might get from a doctor for anti-inflammatory purposes. Other are antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications and antipsychotic medications. So things like Zoloft, Paxil, lithium, and haloperidol. Some of these other medications can lead to weight gain. So if you're feeling like you're experiencing weight gain, the only thing that changed, you started taking something, it could be a side effect of that supplement or medication. More common in medications than supplements, creatine just happens to be one that can lead to a good kind of water retention in the muscles, not underneath the skin. Final thing is slowing metabolism. Look, this happens to us as we age. This is why here at the Fit Follow Project, we specifically help busy guys over 40 lose weight, get their metabolisms back fired up, because it's just a fact of getting older that your metabolism slows down. Part of it is biological, it just happens, but part of it is totally preventable by getting the right metabolism boosting workouts into your routine, by building some muscle, and by following the right meal plan. We can actually reverse the metabolic cycle, because what happens for most guys is they just keep on doing the same things that they did in their 20s and 30s, and then they slowly gain the weight, because the same plan that worked for you at that age is not going to work for you when you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. So the plan has to be specific for you and has to reignite your metabolism, keep you full, manage your stress, help you sleep. So there are a lot of factors here on the board, but the key thing is that we can take these and get it into a simple plan. That's what Fit-Follow-30X is. We hand you the battle plan for the nutrition, the workouts, the sleep, the supplements. We make it super simple and we keep you accountable. So we can beat a slowing metabolism, just like the thousands of guys who use Fit-Follow-30X, so I want to invite you to join the program. Hope you found this valuable. Again, unexpected weight gain is a multifactorial thing. There's a lot of reasons about why we could be experiencing this, but I hope you got a couple good ideas to start to look at your life, and now the next time you gain weight, over the course of 2-3 days, you can look back and be like, oh yeah, I had that burger with the salty barbecue sauce on it. That was probably why. Now you have a better idea of some of the biology behind this stuff, but more importantly, I hope that you're getting fired up and excited about the fact that you can get back into amazing shape at any age. You can break the cycle of weight gain, you can get lean, get energetic, build the muscle regardless of your age or where you're at right now with your weight. Here at the Fit Project, we help thousands of guys do that every year. I want you to join us inside Fit-Follow-30X, so check that out. There are links below. Check out the overview letter, check out the testimonials, join us, break the cycle of weight gain, get your lean, energetic body back. we can help you. I hope you found this video valuable. If you like this, you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, stay around our Fit Father Project channel, check out Fit Father 30X, our 30-day program, and I'll see you inside there, and I'll talk to you very soon, my friend.